All right, man. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are back for a little bit. Finally back out here doing stuff in the garage, you know, normal stuff. I figured I'd pick up the camera and give you guys an update with all the things that are happening for the most part, or that I guess as an update. We went to JCCS last year, or just last year, geez Louise. We went to JCCS this year. It was awesome. Saw a bunch of people I've met before, saw a bunch of new people. Got second place. There was a bunch of sick cars there for Miatas, so beyond happy, stoked. There's a bunch of sick cars there, literally. Sickest cars I've seen in the longest time. So that was awesome to experience all that for the first time, traveling out there. And then, you know, this whole thing. So that was fun. That was a good time. But now we are back home. You know, it's probably been maybe a month or two since I really picked up the camera. Nothing's really been going on. Just been, you know, enjoying the car, living life, doing all the normal stuff. YouTube's not my like full-time job, so if you guys want to see more, just let me know. But otherwise, yeah, pick it up as we go. So at this point, we went to Cayusha Club. That was awesome too. Got to experience that again. Got to see some people again, so that's always fun. If you've never been to Cayusha Club, definitely go. Would recommend. It's free. Anybody can get in. Have a JDM car if you want to show your car out, but otherwise, yeah. So back to this. Drove this there, no issues. Drove it back. I don't know what happened. One of the lines, essentially hard lines, actually showed some type of deterioration. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, cool. So it's here. You see this little brown line? That's my coolant spewing out. So I'll insert a video here. We have a leak. That way you can see what I was talking about. But yeah, so that was spewing out here, and I don't know why. I'm not really sure why. I mean, this does have like a little, maybe a kink in it. Maybe I struggled putting this piece on and it just had a failure in it or something. I don't really know. But ultimately, we made a new one. So I haven't had any issues with any of the other lines. So I'm assuming I just messed this one up to some degree. Maybe I didn't flare it out enough. I feel like it's flared out enough, but maybe I just damaged something. Maybe this little scratch. You can't see. Maybe this little scratch here, let me zoom in. Right here, did something and caused it to start failing. No clue, but made new ones because we have the thing all the way over there. Focus, focus. Not on my finger. There we go. We have the thing all the way over there. So I can make our own lines again. So I still have some extra lines, so I made that. Good to go. I really want to tear this car apart. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got some plans, I got some things that I've been trying to do, but I'm trying to enjoy the weather right now and enjoying driving it and experiencing it. I feel like I'm always just working on this thing, you know what I mean? So I love building, but I also want to enjoy it. So what else? Oh, we got some new wheels. Major. That is super big changes coming for that. I'll show you the lips, maybe? Yeah, I'll show you the lips. Let's talk about that. All right, let's get this thing open. Now, before I show you these, I got these last year, or ordered them last year. Was pretty much going through trying to find the right sizing for the No Pro kit. So these should be 16s instead of 15s, but also, oh, they look good. Jeez, these look massive for 16s. Let's pull one out. Nicely packaged. And this is from the same person that does the thrash seats. He started his own, I don't know if his own company, but he started importing business. And it makes it a lot easier. And you already have somebody that can bring stuff in. So, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I'm sure you can already tell just based off that alone, but all silver instead of going gold. And yeah, let's just get them out. Let's get them out of their packaging so we can see what we're working with here. I give you my SSR formula mesh in silver, good color, in 16 by 4 by 100. Not sure the offsets for these, doesn't really matter because we're gonna have to rebuild them anyway in order to work with our whole setup, but they probably need some love too, a little bit of attention on top of it, but that's all part of it, especially when you import random stuff. So these are pretty cheap, not too bad. So we'll get to work measuring stuff out and seeing where we're at. Well, like I said, I'm not surprised there's some work that needs to be done, but we'll get this all measured out. This looks like a 4.5, maybe a 5-inch barrel or lip. From this standpoint, I'm hoping they're not welded, but they surely are looking like it. So we'll have to figure out the best way to get that taken care of, but otherwise, this is nice. This is sick. So we'll see if we can get 16s to look any better than 15s, just to fill the wheel well a little bit better. And then we'll keep these probably silver. We'll see. Who knows? May change the color, may not, but I'm liking them so far. And I still have my SSR, whatchamacallits, from the Sharks, so that should work here still. But yeah, man, super excited. Finally got some other wheels, and then we'll see if 16s are the name in the game. I know there's always been a sizing issue with wheels and tires, but yeah, see how we go. So just briefly going through them, these are welded to the barrel itself, so everything's one intact piece. These look like they just came from the factory themselves this way, so nothing's really been changed. These are 16 by 7.5 plus something. Hang on. What does that say? Plus 34? 16, 7.5 for the rears, and then 16 by 7 plus 28 for both of the fronts. So kind of interesting, just looking through it, but yeah, they're definitely welded, unfortunately. So we'll need to just figure out the best way to attack that when the time comes. But 16s might be the move. Okay, got the old tape measure just to see what we're working with here for the rear lip that was here before. That we're probably still going to have to replace if we step to 17s, but this currently would be a 5.5-inch lip. Yeah, it's 5-inch because they had to build it up. And then this bottom one is 2 inches. So that'll give us our 15 or 16 by 7. Man, I'm so used to saying 15. And now we can look up what size we want to work with. But real quick on the hard lines, since I'm all over the place, they're done, they're made, they're cleaner than they were before, and they should last, hopefully. So I just need to make a new 90 or have a new 90 fitting come in for that to here, and then we should be golden. So back to some other changes that we have going on here. We have some new wheels that we're going to be trying to put on. I'm not trying to block out of the way for the time being, but these are the old ones, the old faces, the old lips and barrels and everything. It is a true 3-piece wheel, but these are welded. They don't need to be, but they are. These are from SSR directly, so, you know, not directly, but they were made from SSR, and yeah, they welded them in the factory, so we're good to go. So you probably saw what it was, so I'll just show you the faces anyway. Here we go. SSR formula mesh. Ignore the fact that there's a drill sticking out of that, but let's show you the lips. Boom. Crazy. So these are 17s. Stepping up in size. These that are on the car currently are 15s. Love them, but a little bit of a gap. So would be cool if we could, you know, make that a little bit smaller. This is pretty much as low as the front can currently go without causing too much of an issue, because as you can see, the bumper is very, very low. So because the bumper's so low, I don't really want to go. I'm not really comfortable going any lower than I already am. So we are basically going to try and raise the car maybe 1/2 inch with the 17s. Now these are 16s, trying to step these up to 17s. That way we don't have any issues or concerns with any real, clearance or real clearance. The end goal is still to change some stuff up with the front, so that'll be long-term stuff. But for now, yes, 16s that we're going to step to 17s. And this is the only one I'm actually having a problem with. Now, when I say problem with, I just mainly mean there's only one bolt. I was using my impact. Yes, I know, using my impact to take stuff off. Didn't have any issues with any of them. All the rest of them came out of all the other faces, no problems, or barrels, no issues. Just this one, so you run the risk. So I'm basically just drilling out, and of course, as I'm drilling out, the battery's dead. Just, I should probably buy a drill that is corded. That way we don't really run out of power. But either way, waiting for the battery to charge. I've had this battery forever. I need to probably buy a better one for a better drill. I had this drill forever, buy a better one. Anyways, yeah, so we have 17s. The end goal here is 17 by 10 all the way around, front and rear, but the offset's gonna be a little different for both. The front, I kind of tried to match what I had here on these, but not 100%. I pretty much went through my own little calculations, probably not the proper way of calculating offsets and whatnot, but yep, we need to test fit them on. So we need to get all the faces out, and then we need to put the lips together. Now with these, mind you, these sit on top. So the Panasports sit in the middle as far as the face is concerned. So they're sandwiched in versus these are basically bolted in. I mean, they're all sandwiched at the end of the day, but the faces sit on top here, the faces sit in the center on those. So that's the biggest difference. When it comes to calculating the offset, it was pretty much just trying to make sure I understood that this is going to push the face out a little bit, or sink it in a little bit more compared to one that sits right in the center. So those are a little easier to calculate. This was kind of a guessing game. I'm sure other people could calculate it very easily, but for your boy, we figured it out, I think. We'll see. Trust in the process. So the fronts are 17 by 10. Fronts are gonna be 4.5-inch lips for the front and a 5.5-inch inner lip. And then the rears are gonna be 17 by 5 inner and outer. So 17 by 10 total. For that side, plus 25, because the face sticks out 25 inches or 25 millimeters. And then this should be plus 50. It's an inch difference, which is 25 millimeters. And then the face sticks out another 25 millimeters. So that's 50, right? Right? It's 2 inches. I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll find out once I actually put everything together. We just got these in. So we got those, and then we got the other ones sitting in the car. So we just need to test fit them, make sure they all work. Now, during test fitting, we had some issues here where the 17 by 5s for the faces seemed like they were having a problem. I just could not get the faces to sit on them. For whatever reason, it wouldn't sit down inside the barrel or inside the lip like you would expect. So I contacted the place that I got them from, just trying to figure out what I can do, and we'll go from there. But otherwise, everything else fits. The 4.5 outers work fine. The 5.5 inners work fine, and the 5.5 or the 5 inners work fine. It's just the 5 outers. I don't know what difference there is when they make them, but they definitely don't fit in there. I figured maybe because the first box actually showed up a day before. I actually asked the FedEx guy. I was like, "Hey, is there another box?" Knowing there was 2. The FedEx thing showed there was 2, and he said no. So I was like, "Cool, I'll just wait." And then I looked for the other shipment. Said the first one was delivered, and then I saw the second shipment had not delivered yet, so I knew we should be good. And from there, we were pretty much just waiting for the second box. So the first box had a 5 in it. It was kind of a staggered setup for everything: 4.5, 5, 5.5, and 5. I think is what was there. But that was in one box. The same thing was in the other box. But yeah, all of them you can fit the face in, no problem. Inners, outers, except for the 5. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, man, we might have just got really lucky. I did all the other wheels, had no issues at all. Biggest complaint was the last one, using the impact. Not the best idea, but it made everything really quick. to take all the wheels off and all the faces off of them. But one of them got stuck. The Allen key, which I just hate Allen keys, they pretty much got rounded out with the impact, of course, because that one was like seized on there. We'll see what it looks like here in a second, because I was able to finally break it loose. Let me show you what I had to do. So I basically, come on, focus, focus. I had to drill out the top of it. This is the bolt itself. Drilled it all the way through and then hit it with a hammer, big hammer, to get it to break off. And luckily it did exactly what I was hoping it would do, is just snapped clean out, clean off. No real issue. There's still thread in the back of this. Let's see, let me turn the flash. You can still see in the back of this that there's still a bunch of, you know, stuff right there, but we didn't hit any of the metal, which is the best part. So now we can just go ahead and take out the old bolt and we can finally be done with it. So take this face out, hit it out, and this will be the last one that we have to do. Oh, the relief. And just like that, we got all of them out. Looking good. Now it's time to get them to powder coating so we can figure out what we're going to do. Got some color choices to choose from. I kind of like where they're at. Kind of like the existing, you know, bronze that we got going on all the way throughout. So many decisions need to be made very shortly. All right, man, it's time to actually get into test fitting, seeing if everything worked out the way we were hoping. So yeah, I already took the wheels off of the other one. I took the wheels off in general. So we're good to go, ready to line everything up. Have our lips. So let's get our faces that are over here in this corner, and we will go ahead and line some stuff up, see what we can get. I think my game plan that I had initially was 5.5 inner lip for the front, 4.5 outer lip. So that'll give you 10 total. And then on the rears, 5 inner, 5 outer. So we'll see if that works out. Remember, the 5 outer, I tried test fitting before, not on the car, but just the faces, and it wouldn't sit in there. So I did contact the company. They said because they heat treat it to make it stronger, sometimes they get a little wonky. So I just need to heat it up. I don't know how much heat I need to actually put into it, but yeah, we'll see if we can't heat it up and hopefully get it to slide down into position so we can test fit it. Man, this is going to look good. I wish it was, you know, just would fall right in, but it does here. No problem. It does on the actual other side of this too, the inner, but it does not fit anywhere else. It will fit here perfectly fine. No issues. Man, that looks sick. And it's crazy because these are 17s and they don't look that big, like 15, 17. I mean, I guess they look kind of big, but not major on the grand scheme of things, at least to me. So again, it's going to be 10-inch for both. So it should look good in the grand scheme of things, both matched up, nothing major there. But yeah, let's put a couple bolts in here so we can test fit this real quick. Man, this looks good. All right, we got one assembled real quick, just 2 bolts, you know, nothing crazy here going on. So we'll throw this on the car real quick. 4.5-inch lip, baby. Looks good. So let's move this over, test it out, see what we can get going. All right, it's on, you know. Like I said, I tested the faces before without anything on them. No brake issues as far as clearance is concerned, so we're good there. We're obviously not rubbing on anything in the far back yet. We'll see what happens when we finally turn and have a tire on, but oh, it actually worked out. All right, that's cool. My offset calculator in my head, I changed it so many times, but it actually looks like it worked out. So these, again, are 15 by 9, 3.5 outer lip, 3.5-inch outer lip with a 5-inch inner lip. 5.5-inch inner lip. Yes, because I think it's a 9-inch wheel altogether. So that way I knew 5.5-inch would work with this too. So we're good from that standpoint, but I wanted to step it up just a little bit. So, and because the faces of this sit out on top, whereas these are sandwiched in, like I was saying before, these sit on top, that is taking away a little bit of space because of, or changing the offset a little bit. So with that in mind, dang man, this looks good. So from the front view, you know what I mean? Dang, this is gonna look spicy. This basically looks exactly like the Panasports fitment. Are you kidding me? Wow, it's like I know what I'm doing or something. Okay, okay, perfect. So now now that we got that out of the way, we can go ahead and hopefully try and get the 5s on and see if the rears fit. Let's just test this on the rear real quick and see, because it's a 4.5 inch and it's just a 5, so it's only a ½ inch longer as far as the lip is concerned, which I think should work out for the rear, because the rears on the Panasports are 15 by, or they're 15 by 10, but they are 4.5 inch outer with a 5.5 inch inner lip. So that way, you know, 5.5 inch inner should be fine if I ever needed to do that. If I want to go to 11s or something, we could do that, but let's just see what this looks like first, and then we'll see if we can heat this up to get it in there. All right, now with them on the rear, I mean, they still look pretty good at 4.5 inch. Just saying, and this is in the air, so as we all know, I mean, if you don't know, Miatas camber up. So as the wheel goes up, it should camber in a little bit more. So hopefully the 5 inch should be perfect. I think the way that these sit out, maybe we'll put them back on in a minute and just test it, but I'm pretty sure they sit out just like ½ an inch past the fender flare itself, which would be perfect. So we'll see if that's going to be the same here. But yeah, I mean, if we're just missing ½ an inch here, then that's perfect. Dang, it's like I actually know what I'm doing. Okay, okay. Little happy dance. So if you know you need somebody to help you calculate some fitment, let your boy know. Don't do that, because I don't know what I'm doing. Disclaimer. Anyways, yeah, everything looks sick, super sick. Beyond happy with that. I was kind of surprised with them being 17s. You know, I figured they'd be a little like too much. But I know the original No Pro car was also 17s. There's probably a reason for that, flares and all. And when I test fitted everything with the 6-Yules, the 17 6-Yules, I think they're 17 by 9 is my thought. But they still didn't fit, obviously. They fit height-wise, and they let me turn full lock to lock. So I'm assuming we should be okay from that aspect. And those are a really high offset wheel. So I'm hopeful that this doesn't destroy, you know, everything, but I'm confident we should be okay. So we just need to get the faces off again. Well, we need to actually try and get the 5 inch one on. If we can get that to go, then we'll be good to go. But otherwise, we'll be contacting the company again. So we'll see if we can get that to fit. And then if we can, we'll work on getting the faces to powder coating, figure out a color, and go from there. Gonna put all this stuff back at this point, clean it all up, and then we'll get Chanel in here and start sanding her down for some more stuff. But there's plenty more to come in regards to this. So this is the first step, I guess, so to speak, of getting these set up. I still need center caps and everything, so figured I haven't made a video in a while. Might as well give you guys a quick update what's going on with everything. So again, appreciate y'all for watching. Happy New Year, Christmas, Kwanzaa, all the stuff. Appreciate you guys again. It's gonna be a good year, man. Let's make it a great one. So appreciate y'all. Peace out. And real quick, we're just going to test it because I obviously can't get the 5 inch on there, but we do have the 4.5 inch. So we just need ½ an inch, right? So I basically got 15 inch or 15 millimeters right here, 10 and a 5. So we'll throw that on with this. That should give us our extra little width to test out what the ½ inch will give us and go from there. So let's test it out. All right. This is going to be basically where we sit at the end of the day, and that looks perfect. Looks exactly like it looked with the Panasports on here as far as girth or length or whatever width goes. So we'll put that on real quick. We'll just take this off, and then I'll show you what this looks like in comparison. So just remember, little overhang, you know, as expected, because that will camber in. So let's pull the other one out. All right, now with the Panasports back on, it basically sits in the exact same position, which is fantastic. Maybe the Panasport sticks out a little bit more, and the Panasports are fantastic, absolutely perfect. Rubs when I hit a bump, just because eventually, you know, stuff needs to happen in there. But yeah, 17 should work out, hopefully, at least just to raise the car, more so than anything else, and to clear some of that wheel gap. So that's going to do it for the rest of this one. So appreciate y'all again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Happy New Year. I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.